have such respect for Navy and Kenny Niumatalolo and just the game itself, playing the game. It's a difficult game to prepare for, so we're extremely pleased with the win. Proud of my team and the way they prepared all week and then the way they executed today. Defensively, we played very well. I mean, we were detailed, we were focused. We trusted our teaching. We trusted the guy next to each other and got back to the foundational principles of playing really good defense, and that is communication, assignment, tackling, and that was on display today. Offensively, didn't get off to a great start, but kept at it. It's a bit of a unique defense in the way they play it. A lot of Tampa 2, a lot of drop 8. They mix in some pressures, and so I thought we stayed at it. It's a defense that you just gotta kind of be patient and keep prodding. And I thought we did a nice job there and broke the game open. So really good victory. Proud of our group, and gets us another step closer to where we want to be. So with that, we'll open up to questions.
I'm going to go to Tim O'Malley first in the middle.
Coach, the cone to Kevin Austin near the end of the half for 70 yards, just the way your defense was playing, that seemed to be the boost you needed to kind of be able to call your game plan in the second half.
Yeah, no doubt it helped. I thought we managed the back half of the second quarter pretty good. We wanted to see how we were playing there defensively to decide how to use the timeouts. First down was the key. We kept them under 4 yards on first down, and then I was able to use the timeout strategically. And then anytime we have one timeout with 110, 115, we feel like we're in pretty good shape to be aggressive. We ran 4 vertical. Jack used his eyes to influence the safety, pulled the safety, and came all the way back across the field and was able to find Kevin in a hole shot. And it's something that we had game planned all week.
You were pretty certain those first couple runs to Kyron, you were going to get some yardage there because they're backing up a little bit and trying to protect against the deep ball.
Yeah, so, typical 2-minute drive where, if you try to get too much too soon, you end up punting the football back to him. So, I thought that, we were going to be able to get the ball out of, which in our eyes was a vulnerable position at the end of the half if you don't get out to at least the 30-yard line. So I was happy to run the football there and then get a little bit of breathing room and then take some shots.
Any update on Avery Davis?
It's a knee injury. Our doctors aren't certain until we get an MRI, so we'll get an MRI and then we'll know for sure. Thanks.
Before we go to Patrick Ingle, just a reminder to raise your hand if you have a question. We'll get the mic to you. Go ahead, Patrick.
Brian, Kurt Heinisch with 10 tackles, and it took him not even 3 quarters to get there.
Game ball.
How important was he, coming into this game, given what Navy wants to do, and what did you see that he got that game ball?
Yeah, so we had some guys on this defense that had some experience playing the option, and he being one of them, and we were relying heavily on him. Drew Wright was the other. Drew tore his PCL during the week and played with a torn PCL, and we were banking on Heinisch, and Drew didn't know if Drew was going to be able to play. He's a warrior. Rob Hunt was amazing. I think he moved in with him this week and got him ready. But Drew just had the mental toughness to play through it. And so getting back to Kurt Heinisch, you had Drew as the inside guys that really needed to come up big for us, and they did. And in particular, Heinisch was virtually unblockable inside, and we were hoping that was going to be the case, and it came out that way.
And then on defense, it looked like kind of a 5-2 front. I guess what did you guys like about that when you guys were game planning, and how much of that was Marcus versus Elston, kind of both having experience against this, like you talked about earlier in the week?
Yeah, We played both an even and an odd front. A lot of teams just play one front. We played multiple fronts. You saw them use the clock up a couple of times. They had to use timeouts because we were moving the front. They couldn't get a beat on what we were playing. And that was just, we were moving the front late on them, so they couldn't get a beat on it. So 3 down, 4 down, we're playing some man, we're playing some cover one. It was a combination of what we played in the past and a little bit of what Marcus and a blend of everything, and proved to be very effective.
Up next, we have Pete Sampson in the front row to your right.
I mean, in total, as well as you played defensively against them, I know it's not like the best Navy team you've played,
Yeah.
but just in terms of how you executed it.
Yeah, the execution was on point. Everybody was in a great position. I think other than the reverse where we slipped underneath the tackle and didn't leverage the football, everything was leveraged the right way. I would agree with you that the 19 team that Navy had better all-around talent across the board. But this could have been, in terms of the fits, inside out was as good as we fit the option in quite some time.
And what went into Jack Kaiser, kind of a safety role? I'm assuming that would have been Hamilton if he was healthy, but like, what made you think like, okay, that's a good spot for him in this defense?
The quarterback that was in there was a big kid. Unfortunately, he got hurt. We wanted to bend him back, and we felt like Kaiser can run as well as any of our safeties, and the way we play, that structure, we wanted some physicality and size there. We didn't want to get caught in situations where if they started to run the quarterback lead and power, that we would be in a lot of 3rd and shorts. So that was the mindset there in terms of using him in that position.
And if Avery Davis is out for a while, do you have to make a move? Can you make a move to get more receivers in there? Essentially, it'd be down to 4 scholarship healthy guys who are active.
Yeah, I think we've already talked about an alternative to add somebody into that position, which we'll discuss with you guys next week.
All right, we'll go to Tyler James next here on your left.
Brian, you talked about the slow start offensively. What did the drive that Tyler Buckner sort of led for the first touchdown, why was that able to be successful, and what did that do for the offense?
We started to run him a little bit. There was a little bit more read at the line of scrimmage, so we were a little bit more deliberate. And obviously hit a big, slant versus cover 0, down there. It's just been a natural progression of getting him into the game. I don't know if there was anything magical in that sense other than, we were running his package and it was a change up, from that standpoint.
And then another safety, Xavier Watts, got to see some action today.
Yeah.
What allowed him to sort of be able to find a role against this Navy offense?
Yeah, I think it's, it's a young man that we've been trying to get on the field. I thought he played pretty good. I mean, he ran the alley very well. He made a couple of really good plays late in the game. But just, again, trying to get him comfortable, to get him on the field in a more consistent role. Hopefully this kind of gets him moving, in that direction where there's some confidence building, other than just in special teams where we can get him involved more. This weekend, obviously, a team that throws the football as much, we're going to have all hands on deck, and this would be a great opportunity for him to play more.
And then how do you think Chris Tyree handled things with getting more action with coming back from the turf?
Much better. Yeah, much better. He felt good after I talked to him, and I think we're trending in the right direction there.
All right, we'll go to John Bryce next on your right.
Brian, you mentioned moving some fronts and doing it kind of later in the play clock. What kind of demands or trust does that require for your players, and how much does the ability to do that and execute the way you did today maybe show the progress of this defense?
Yeah, I mean, it was a point of emphasis this week. We were a little disappointed with our communication last week. We were a little disappointed with our tackling, and so our standard, from a defensive standpoint, was about that in terms of the emphasis and what we talked about all week. So you can imagine that was overemphasized during the week. And it was nice to see that come to fruition and executed very well this game.
And then just the progress of the defense under Mark. I know you've got players that had seen the option, Marcus had seen it, but to put it all together here.
Yeah, I mean, we needed to make some progress. I mean, we weren't happy with some of the things, last week, and so we needed to see the incremental progress. And this week was much better. But it's a snapshot, right? Because next week, we got a team that is one of the more prolific passing offenses in the country. So, job well done. Check mark on the old option. Let's go see how we handle now Brennan Armstrong and the Cavaliers. This is work in progress for us. We like the step we took today because the communication was really good and the tackling was much better. We got to go cover some people next week.
Go to Mike Barandino here on
In
the
terms of
left.
staying on point, this is 39 straight now wins over unranked teams. And we never talk about that longest streak in the country. What does that say about your group over this period of time? And that's 40 straight wins when you put 30 or more on the board. So in terms of not losing a shootout in that span, what does that mean to you?
Well, I guess that's pretty consistent. Consistency in performance is important, right? In anything you do. So, what we're doing, how we do it on a day-to-day basis, is for us about our process every single day, and we stick with it, and it's proven to be effective. So, sometimes I get up here and it sounds like, the same old, but it's proven to be, pretty effective. And our guys probably feel the same way too. They hear it every day, but they believe in it. They're 100% bought in on how we do things on a day-to-day basis, and our standards have shown that it's been really effective. So we won't be changing anything anytime soon.
All right, we'll do a final question with the gentleman in the blue here in the middle.
Speaking of consistency, last year's game was canceled due to the pandemic, and how significant would you consider this game in terms of continuing the Notre Dame Navy rivalry tradition?
Well, I think is Jack here? Didn't we just sign a new 10-year deal? So we have a new 10-year deal with Navy. So I think we're going to be playing Navy for another 10 years. I'll be able to watch that on TV in the back end of that rivalry. Jack will still be here, I'm sure. Watching. Look, here's what I will say, right? Navy's a difficult opponent to play. They're very difficult. It's hard to play them. Look, we didn't run 7-on-7 this week, right? We didn't get our 2-minute drill in this week. We didn't do a lot of the basic parameters of football that prepare you each and every week and things that you do naturally each and every week. We didn't do them. Now we got to go switch, and we didn't run 7-on-7 now, for 10 days, and we got to go play Virginia. So those are real. Those are hard things. But it's all worth it when you get a chance to go hand in hand with the Naval Academy as they sing their alma mater. You know what I mean? There's nothing like that, Where else in sport does that happen, where you play it on the field and intense competition, and then our players are arm in arm with their players as their alma mater is being sung? It's pretty special from that standpoint. So the coach in me, it's hard, but the special moments that you get in playing this game, it can't be duplicated anywhere else. So that's my soapbox.
Thank you, Coach.
Good.